Hello, so we're going to launch Apache NiFi again and start using it to create our first processor. So if I'm in my directory and I do nifi.sh run, press enter, it's booting again, it can take some time. I'm going to my web browser and I'm waiting for it to happen. Okay, so Apache NiFi is booting now. It's always a good idea to keep NiFi running unless you really need to shut it down on your laptop. And it's also a really good idea to save that URL as a bookmark to get back to it quicker. Okay, so this is Apache NiFi, that's the way it looks like, and we're going to start to create our first processor. So for this purpose, we're going to go to the top left, and there is a processor button. You click on it and drag it towards the center of the window, and you have a pop-up, the Add Processor pop-up. These are all the available processors to you. We will go over some of them in future lectures, but for now, you can just use the filter box on the top right and type in GetFile. GetFile, and then press Add. So GetFile is in the center of my screen, right here. What I'm going to do now is configure it and start using Apache NiFi. So let's right click on it and press configure. What GetFile does is, as its name indicates, it gets a file. So let's name it pick up files from source folder, and we're going to create that folder. Let's not worry about these parameters right now. Scheduling is another tab. We'll go over it later. The tab that's really important right now is properties. It requires the input directory. So you need to say where your directory is going to be. For me, it's users, Stefan Merrick, NiFi, and we're going to create a source directory in here. Okay. So let's create it right now. I'm going back to my terminal. And here, I'm in the NiFi folder. I'm going to make a directory named source and go into that source directory. Here we go. I'm in source directory. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Clear to clear the screen. So I'm in the source directory. Then file filter. Basically, in this window, any parameter that's going to be in bold is what it's called a required parameter. If you don't have any value, as we didn't have before for input directory, then the processor won't work. It will require all the bolded fields to be set. But for example, the path filter is optional because it's not bold. So we can go over all these parameters, but that's not the point of this lecture right now. We can just see that we've set all the bold parameters to something, which is enough. And now we can just click on apply. So here it is, our connector that has been configured. As you can see, there is still a warning sign next to it, which says relationship success is invalid because it is not connected to any components or not auto-terminated. That is fine. We will fix this in the future when we create our second processor and we connect them together.